I don't know how we do current movie making with AI in the sense of having performers be replaced by AI. I'm not as interested in a single person sitting down at a computer and generating an entire story where they have all of the control. I don't think that control makes for good stories. I think challenges make for good story.
Let's say if we're going to make film a scene, you're right. You come into a room, you decide that you can't light it up the way you thought it, whether you sketch it out. So now you're the constraints. The actors are running late, so we need to.
Hey, come on.
or the other actor didn't bring the right shirt.
Oh man, it's always the actors.
Well, the DP didn't bring the right lens. We don't have a wide-angle lens. We only have tight-angle lens. This mess, this sloppy mess of things happening, and then how does it gonna affect how we bring the text in dialogue and behavior to life? Cannot be prompt.